started.
Okay. Hi, everyone, and welcome to our project Youth Community Dinner. Our team is made up of me, Jam, and
Relax. Okay. Okay. And one of the comment and use okay, sorry. Start again. Okay. Yeah, just get comfortable if you want to sit down, whatever stuff. Youth age 12 to 17 in high school often rarely bring our no, it's okay, I can do it. Processed food to school for various reasons, with one of the main common reasons that the caretaker needs to prepare their lunch themselves, as well they lack the time to prepare or don't know how to make their own lunch. Furthermore, schools options such as cabs are limited and often don't prioritize quality and nutrition content of the food they serve. We define the main cause as lack of education for youth. If students were educated about the importance of I'm so sorry. Okay, and benefits of nutrition, especially in adulthood, they will be more inclined to want to change what they were doing before. Furthermore, more people live in food swamps, neighborhoods that have cheap, high processed food or expensive nutritional food. They don't have the chance to learn or eat fresher. Educating on alternative ways that are less costly can help them generate a new generation of youth as well. Next slide.
so we have a couple of goals. Our first one is to educate youth on nutritional food. This will not only provide a short-term solution for them, but it will be long-term since they can carry it with them into the future. And our second one is to build a community of similar-minded people, since this is a perfect place for people to learn and share their learning on their own journeys. And hopefully with both of these solutions in place, we can build kind of a new subculture in the region that includes small groups of nutritionally educated youth.
And solution overview. We came up with a program that teaches youth about nutrition and food prep as a solution. The nutrition is the theory aspect and the food prep are the applying aspect. This creates a great hands-on learning experience that will be fun and memorable for young people. If it's memorable fun, they will be more likely to implement it into their daily lives. This program will run about every 3 months and youth will have to apply and be chosen based on interest level and evaluated for the program. Finally, there will be a community dinner project planned out by the youth with games.
So now I want you to imagine that you're a youth participating in our program. First, we're going to have a portion that's called Learn, and this will take place over 2 months. This is the portion of the program where youth will get to learn about food prep and nutrition through programs that we offer that directly use hands-on learning. Instructors who are experienced in food and nutrition and cooking locally will come in and teach the youth every week. One example we thought of was Chef Thompson Tran, who came in once during the Nurture celebration, and he specializes in local cooking and Vietnamese cooking, and his knowledge could be really useful in this program. There could also be occasional guest instructors that come in, such as Chef Destiny Moser, who's bringing indigenous food back into the community. And these guest instructors can kind of give like a new perspective on food and different perspectives that we might not usually hear about. Finally, we've heard from Nurture that they know some organizations that are potentially willing to partner with this program with them and teach youth how to cook in their kitchen spaces. And we're also aware that the city of Kitchener and Waterloo have kitchen spaces that they could offer for us to use, and all of these could be great possibilities to help bring this program to reality.
Input in 1 month. Youth will implement their learning over the workshops and spend some time creating a 3-course menu, which we serve at the final dinner. They will divide into teams of about 4 per team, and each work on a section of the menu. Using seasonal Using seasonal produce and teaches use about buying and eat local fresh food. This can be sourced from a community garden, extras during harvest, local farms such as St. Jacobs, and possibly even the school food gardens such as where the where our group Nurture operates. Another idea could be the organization Second Harvest. The youth themselves will research into how they can partner or buy local produce with help and support from adults. Finally, youth will prepare a small brochure with details on each menu item, such as nutrition, source of ingredients, and history of food to hand out to guests and show off their work. Next slide.
So finally, after learning and preparing for this, they'll get to move on to the next section, which is present. And after they get approval and feedback from their instructors, youth can bring their menu into reality by preparing for the community dinner. And this is where they can present the knowledge and skills that they've learned over the past couple of months. During the week of, they will source the produce to ensure that it's fresh. And then the day before and the day of the youth community dinner, they will prepare the food under supervision of the instructors. And finally, the brochure they prepared with all the info about the menu and what they learned will be passed out before having the meal together with their friends. The event will be open to about 25 other youth in the region, and this can be anyone ranging from friends to classmates, family, and basically anyone who's interested.
Step forward, but okay. Finally, after dinner, everyone can have a fun time together with activities planned for it. This can build connections between guests and make this a memorable experience that they will want to attend in the future. There will be snacks, drinks, and games for all to enjoy. Possibilities are movies and game boards. Next step.
So how does this solve current issues in the community? First of all, the community dinners will address the need for education, especially among youth, on the topic of nutrition. And by making it a fun event, this encourages the youth to get interested and join it, which is something that they might not do if it was like something that wasn't as fun. Also, since food preparation is such a big part of food systems, it's the stage that happens right before we eat our food. So it's important that youth are educated about this subject. It's important because everyone will need to use food preparation at a stage in their life, and it's something that you can't really live without. So it's important to be educated well on this subject so that you know how to prepare food, and especially also not to generate unnecessary waste. Finally, since youth are a huge part of the future of the community and where it's going, educating the youth in the moment about this can lead the community towards a better direction in the future.
Read the wide words. Okay, sorry. Okay, and this is a 3-month program, which means it's not a lot of time. For youth, this means ease the pressure on youth encouraging them to sign up, and for organizers, it isn't a much of financial burden, and they can tweak the program to make it better each time. Next one.
Finally, here are some ways that you, like our community partners, can help. First, we need someone to help facilitate the program, and this would include jobs such as contacting the instructors, finding interested youth, and marketing and managing the project altogether. Second, we would need someone to help with connecting the program with produce. This can be from community gardens, markets, and farmers markets, basically anywhere in the region that has produce that is willing to give it to the program. Thirdly, we will need someone to provide a hygienic kitchen space to host workshops in the final dinner. And the kitchen spaces, as I mentioned before, can be could be possibly from the city of Kitchener or Waterloo. And we would need to find somewhere to host the workshops and not the workshop, sorry, the final dinner, but that's something that we could look into in the future. And finally, we need some funding for the program and some help with finding funding opportunities. I know that there's some grants in the region that to help with community projects and funding for that, which could be great options for our solution.
Great idea, sorry, yeah, great idea for community building, of course, right, and, you know, one of the reasons why I've worked, I wanted to add in there that you think, a chance to make friends, right, of course, and, yeah, good program, Thompson Tran is doing a, cooking program at schools and would be interested in hearing about this program. I noticed that Tiny Homes brings in, one of the chefs from, Bemis Warong, the main chef there, and so inviting chefs into the program would be quite a really good way to connect the restaurant to the program. And a great idea to teach more about gathering food and shopping. I remember in my 20s, I used to complain that I didn't complain actively to my parents, but I used to say my parents never prepared me for this life. So many difficult decisions I have to make. It was really, really difficult. This will be helpful.
Oh, sorry, continue.
Yeah, I realized that personally I like cooking, but I realized among a lot of my friends that like some of them, I feel like they have no sense of cooking at all. Like they don't even know how to cook an egg, which I'm really surprised about. So I think this program will help with that.
Awesome, yeah, sorry, the last line, I screwed up double eggs like 3 times last weekend, so I'm feeling really victimized. It's like a suggestion and a question. So you mentioned in terms of kind of the final donor, having it to other youth. If you wanted to pilot, a suggestion might be, just because I know we've had a lot of success with youth in the past. I think it's like super cool to come to like council and meet the mayor and stuff. It probably wouldn't be that hard to convince councilors and mayors and like kind of people up there to be guests at a dinner. And then you could do it in like cool city spots and probably get your picture, like it could be a whole thing. So especially for a pilot, that probably wouldn't be that hard to put that in their ears. So just kind of suggesting if you did want to move forward, I bet it could, you know, I think as a kid that'd be kind of cool if you get to serve the mayor. The right way to say that's a weird way to say that, but like prepare food for the mayor and kind of like that's a fun activity, I think. When you're saying youth, did you have an age range in mind or?
Like 12 to 17, anyone in high school.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so not too young, but that's like a nice, okay, perfect.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think that's cool. I think the optionality of the program was also really great. Because first, while you were going through the presentation, my thought was, well, why don't we put this in schools? And then my second thought was, as a kid, I would have hated that because it's school. And it's like, you know, anything in school, kind of like, well, I don't want to do this because I have to, but having it be more optional, I think is cool. And then my last question was just, did you give any considerations into, this seems like it'd be a really great program to run, especially in sort of disadvantaged school districts where maybe there's just less likelihood of having those experiences otherwise or having resources otherwise. So I don't know if you guys had any of those discussions.
Yeah, Lily mentioned to me how like there's communities like Chandler Moet that could be in greater need of the program. And I think it'd be great if we could like market it more towards the, especially like, so that people in need is like catch more their attention more. And they could be like the first priority to get into the program.
Chandler, I see you mentioned.
Yeah, I'll just say awesome job. That was so great. I was with you guys when you were brainstorming initially around food and sort of some of the problems that you were seeing in terms of food access and healthy food options for high school students specifically. So this is a really cool approach and builds off of a lot of some of the conversations already happening with Nurture and some of the things I've heard you talk about already. I really liked having a diverse cultural perspective with the chefs who were teaching the youth how to cook, different relationship to foods, types of foods, so bringing some of the storytelling into it. That's kind of catching with that aspect, which I loved. And then the community celebration also that was hosted by the youth. So not only learning how to cook for yourselves, but learning how to cook for your community was something that I found really beautiful.
I also really like the idea. I'm like already thinking like it'd be really cool for you to like collaborate with other like community groups or community organizations, you know, that already have their feet up a little bit and collaborating this idea with them to hopefully get more people to come out. But I'm also thinking of it, I was listening to this, I was brought back to I think info bites where they were talking about how they don't have, where students don't have access to this. I'm like, it's a really cool program to actually do with the university for like first year students or second year students who are coming here for the first time. Or even just like away from home for the first time and just don't know how to cook. Having classes like this, I think would be really, really beneficial. So I'd be curious to see if there's a way to expand this program, or even have like a second version of this program for older students who are in university, who need to learn how to cook, so they stop eating fast food.
But I think it'd be great if you could offer like these programs at different age levels.
Yeah.
And also we could weave in like the intergenerational
Oh,
aspects,
100%, that'd be really
and
fun.
we could include like maybe people from different generations. Because I think like also people from different generations, they have like different recipes they use and different knowledge on cooking and sustainability, and it could help with like expanding the people that you normally come into contact with into a bigger.
I'm thinking about that in like ethnocultural groups, right? Like
Yeah.
for me, some of my favorite recipes are the ones that I've learned from like my aunts, my grandma, and stuff like that. So something like that, to have that space where like I know friends who have like moved here when they were younger, and they're like, we can't go back to we can't go back to our home country to learn from them. So to have access to grandmothers, aunts, uncles, who it may be, to learn from them, that I think would be a really cool way of expanding that knowledge.
Yeah, also like to like I don't know how to make, like I know how to make like food from where my family's from.
Yeah.
But like it's weird to me, I asked someone else's grandma, right, to help me
Yeah.
make like, whatever. So that would be kind of a cool
Yeah,
intersection
and
too.
having access to people who are willing to teach, like community teaching from
Friends and grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I obviously really like the potential here to tie it into some of the school gardens or
Yeah.
on campus, the North Campus Garden, and start to tie in the food production to food, to dining on food, to eating the food, where it comes from, kind of bringing that circle.
Kind of
Even
fun
that
too.
foraging piece, to me, you mentioned Chef Sydney, foraging in that too, right? Like, how do we forage the food that's local to us and then like cook it? I think this is a really cool potential.
And I also like just to end off, I really like the emphasis was fun. I think
Yeah.
that's like the difference between making cooking a chore and making cooking like, well, fun. Like I think it's a chore, but I've seen people who think it's fun. I wish I was one of them. This is not, like I love eating food. But so I really like that was like making it something enjoyable that you get to do and you get to explore instead of like just another task.